You're listening to the Pasco Podcast with Mike Carballa. Welcome to Season 3 of Pasco Podcast, a series about leadership and public service. We'd like to thank our sponsors, the nearly 600,000 people of Pasco County, as represented by the Board of County Commissioners. It's through their trust and empowerment of our workforce and leadership team that we're able to bring you this podcast. This podcast is designed to help public servants build leadership skills and leverage them for success by sharing the experiences of our peers.
Hi, I'm Mike Carballa, and welcome to our 57th episode of Pasco Podcast. This is a special episode focusing on Pasco's new Better Future program. We're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars being funneled into our community to help us recover from the past hurricanes and be more resilient. The program to start putting that money in your hands is well underway. And joining us today to break it all down for us is our Office of Disaster Recovery Resources Director, Chuck Lane, and the program's Citizen Services Director, Tim Lagudi. Together, these two and their teams are bringing much needed relief and long-term support to the people of Pasco. So Chuck, Tim, great to have you. Thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having us.
So before we dive in, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourselves and how you came to Pasco? Chuck?
So I grew up in Massachusetts, came to Florida in 2006. That's when I started my career.
So you're a Bucks fan now. We're done with, sure.
No comment on that.
I'll
okay. Plead the fifth. Started my work in government with SwiftMud in 2006. Came to the city of Clearwater a few years later. Started my work in local government. Kind of had this odd parallel career in public works, community development. I came to Pasco County as a chief projects manager for the Public Works Department. Soon became the community development director and took on this opportunity. Fantastic opportunity to try to make a difference in Pasco County.
I love it. Tim, how about you? What's your story?
Sure. I am Citizen Services Director. I've been in disaster recovery for 13 years, dating back to Superstorm Sandy. I am from New York, and I have worked in communities like Pasco over the last 13 years in Louisiana, North Carolina, and also for the state of Florida.
Well, wonderful. You guys are bringing a wealth of experience here to the area, so we're grateful to have you. So listen, we've had back-to-back devastating hurricanes, right? I mean, everybody forgets about Debbie. Debbie was pretty rough too, but Milton and Helene namely. And as a result of that, the federal government, granted Pasco County over $500 million in federal funding to help deal with this. So talk to us a little bit about what the Better Futures program is.
So this is really an opportunity for transformational change.
Okay.
It really is. We can use this money for a number of different things. But primarily, or at least off at the start, it's about helping people recover. People have had damage to their homes. We have people that are still displaced that need help, and that's what this funding is intended to do. So we're going to roll through that. That's our priority right now, is the individual housing piece. Later on, we're going to launch programs to improve our infrastructure in Pasco County. Mm-hmm. We'll funnel money to public services that will help people in need. Mm-hmm. There's a planning program that we can do that will help, and it can help in a number of different ways. So there's lots of things that we can do with this.
I think there's even programs for small business, right?
Yes, economic recovery. That's one of the first programs we'll roll out. That'll roll out in January. Economic recovery helps small businesses and nonprofits with the damage that they've suffered. So there's a lot that's going to happen, and there's a wide range of things that we can help with this funding.
That's awesome. Tim, anything to add to that?
I think I would just add that the individual housing program started first, December 1st. We're excited to get some visible relief out to residents, and there are a lot of great programs that will follow.
Yeah, well, so speaking of individual housing, I mean, you said that's the first one coming out. Walk us through it.
Sure. So for the individual housing program, this will be for folks who have properties that were damaged by either Hurricane Idalia, Helene, or Milton in 2023 or 2024. This is for homeowners. This is also for small rental landlords that would be eligible for the program. And there are a bunch of tracks that you would be eligible for. So we can come and repair your home. We can come and reconstruct or replace your mobile home. You're also entitled to reimbursements for money that has been paid out of pocket.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's good. Tim, anything to add there, Chuck?
The reimbursement piece will happen quicker than the others. We actually hope to get some reimbursement checks out by Christmas.
Sure. So if I already,
great goal.
that'd be great.
Goal.
Yeah. So if I've already made repairs, I've moved on. Yeah. I'm sure there's going to be some rules to that. But talk to me a little bit about applications, because you said applications. Who should apply?
So anyone that's had damage to the storms, from the storms, but it is an income qualifying program.
Okay.
And that's one of the difficult things about this program, because there are people that aren't going to qualify, at least not at the beginning. So folks that are considered low to moderate income, and that's determined by HUD. And what that means is, and that's a scale that ranges by household size. So for example, a family of 4, the maximum income that family can bring in a year is $83,450. A family of 1, I believe it's $53,000 or $58,450. So it ranges. So if you exceed those ranges at this time, you're not eligible.
So Chuck, I'm sure we'll talk more towards the end on where people can go to get resources. But in case people hit pause now, where can they find this information at? How do I know if I qualify? I never know on federal government websites.
Yeah. Well, our website, we're going to keep it up.
Okay.
As much we have to. It's a requirement of HUD that we keep all this information on our website.
Okay.
So mypasco.net. There's a Better Future toggle at the top. They hit that. It takes us right to the Better Future page. And all of the information will be updated at all times on that page.
And everything, too, that we're probably talking about today will be there as well.
Yep. Application link, all of that.
So applications are open now?
Yep.
Applications are open.
Taking them fast and furious.
That is fantastic. So, sometimes things like this can be overwhelming to people, right? So how can people get help navigating this program?
So it is. I mean, this is the most difficult part of these programs, is the application piece. People get into the application, they see all these things.
Because of federal requirements, right? It's not necessarily
really
your requirements.
It's what we have to do.
Right.
And people get overwhelmed and they decide, well, this isn't worth it. I'm not doing it. IEM is going to have a team in place for people with technical assistance to work them through these applications. A very critical piece. We're not going to let anybody be excluded because of technology. There will be people that they can call, people that they can email at all times. Tim, you want to talk a little bit about your team and how they're going to work through that?
Sure. I mean, we'll have dedicated case managers. So when you submit an application, if you do it through the online portal, you'll be assigned to somebody, and that will be your dedicated resource throughout the program.
Okay.
And we're also coming to you. So, it's been a long road for folks. People have met with multiple inspectors, have applied to different programs. We'll be posting the meetings that will be going to out in the community to help people with their applications if they need any assistance. If they have questions on their documents, they can also call our program. If there are folks who are infirmed and can't leave their home, we're going to come out to your residence because we want to make sure that everybody is able to participate.
That's great. That's a great customer service element to this. Is there anything else about the housing program that maybe we should cover here today? Because what types of repairs are we talking about? I mean, I guess there's got to be limitations, I would assume. I mean, I can't do a renovation or put an addition onto my house.
No, that's not what the program's about. It's
right.
about getting people where they were before the storm.
Okay.
It's recovery.
It's recovery.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Gets you there. So we've talked a little bit about this, and there's various elements to it. So when can homeowners really start to see the results? So you mentioned some maybe on the repair side. If you already had dollars come out, trying to get checks out as soon as possible, right? Maybe even before the end of the year. But if I'm going through other parts of the program, maybe I haven't done certain repairs yet, when can folks really expect to really see the benefits of the program?
Again, the reimbursement piece, we can do that quicker than others. When we get into the repair, there's a process we need to go through. So there's going to be several steps that we'll need to take before we even get into construction on that.
Okay.
When we get into construction, we will assign a contractor to a homeowner to do that work on the home.
So I don't have to go out and hire a contractor, get folks done. This is kind of like a one-stop shop almost.
Yeah, if you think of the scale that we're going to be working on, we have to look at everything through the lens of efficiency, right? And time sensitiveness. And to go through that bid process would just take up time. It would push everything down the road. So we're doing things as quickly as we can. So assigning a contractor that is under contract with IEM, we're going to have about 10 to 15 contractors that are under contract with IEM.
Okay.
They'll be assigned and they'll work through with the homeowner and get those things repaired. There's also a demolition and replacement program.
Oh, okay.
If the home is too far gone and we can't repair it, that home will be eligible for us to rebuild it.
Oh, Wow. Okay.
And that's obviously going to take a little bit longer.
No. Yeah, I would certainly think so. So we're having community meetings. We're doing a lot of engagement on this. What are the most common questions you guys are hearing from the community?
A lot of questions about eligibility.
Eligibility.
One of the biggest ones.
What types of documents do I need to bring to the table? And so we'll have our document checklist posted to the website. So if anybody has questions, if you've already applied, again, reach out to your case manager. I think another big one is whether they are required to keep flood insurance. And so if you are in the 100-year floodplain, and this is a HUD requirement, you have to maintain flood insurance on that property for the life of the property. Okay. So that is going to be one new thing. If you don't have flood insurance, you're going to need to go and get flood insurance on your property.
We're also hearing a lot of frustration. People have been through various programs trying to get funding, and it hasn't materialized. And they're coming to us, and they have this preconceived notion that it is just another one of those programs. Mm-hmm. We are here to help, and we have a lot of money to help. There's not a lot of people who qualify that we won't be able to help. So This isn't one of those programs that we're going to come up short. And this individual housing piece, it's going to be the public's first impression of our program, right? Mm-hmm. And we have to get it right. We have to build the confidence in our residents, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to do it right, and we're going to help people. And I'm really looking forward to seeing people, build that confidence in us. Yeah,
same here. So income qualifications definitely probably the biggest question. You mentioned earlier, Chuck, that at least at first. Do those goalposts move as the program continues? If not enough folks take advantage of it at lower income levels?
Well, we don't know yet. The requirement is 70% of the funds need to go towards low income folks, as I talked about that earlier. Now, when we get, we're taking applications fast and furious. When those applications start to subside, we can look at where we're at with that 70% rule, and we can decide at that time whether or not we're able to open it up to folks at a higher income level. We hope that we can, but we just don't know that yet, because if we fall short of that 70% requirement, we're not in compliance.
Absolutely. Yeah, and then that money gets clawed back, and then it doesn't go to help anyone. So a lot of restrictions. I know a lot of paperwork, a lot of documentation, as a lot of residents even learned. Just going through the rebuilding process was tough. So what's one thing about the housing program that you guys would like people to know?
I want to encourage people to apply quickly, and get through your application quickly. And that way, the quicker we do that and get through this first wave, the more quickly we're going to be able to determine whether or not we can help more folks.
Gotcha.
So let's get these applications in. That's what I would encourage people to do.
Yeah, you don't know if you don't apply, so let's put it in and then see where it goes. Yeah, I love it. I love it. You guys are both Chuck, you've been engaged in the community development world for a long time, and Tim obviously worked with a lot of communities over the years. What does it mean to you to personally have an impact on the people of Pasco County through this program?
That's why I took on this role.
Yeah.
It's exciting to have that level of impact.
I think you were a community development director for about 6 months before we said, hey.
Well, I've done that kind of work for a long time, so I understand it. I know it. But even all the work I've done in my career in community development and all the projects that we completed, this is different. This is on a scale that I never imagined that I could work on. It's exciting it's unfortunate that we have to do this, of course.
Of course
it is.
First
and foremost. But the fact that we can help people to this scale, to me, it's phenomenal. We'll look back in 6 years and I think we'll be amazed at what we've been able to do in this county. The housing stock, the improvements we'll make to the housing stock, we'll be able to make improvements like we've never made before. That's just really an exciting component for me.
That's fantastic. Tim, what about you?
Sure. I've been working in the county now since March. I've been out in the community hearing what people have been going through. It's been back-to-back storms in 2023 and 2024. Yeah. Fortunately, this year we were lucky, but I think that with the work that we do, the coolest part of my job is to be there when we're giving out a reimbursement check or we're giving somebody keys to a home. That's what we're all here for. So I think that's what I'm looking forward to.
That is so great. So you guys have kind of teased at it a little bit here, but Better Futures is not just this housing program. We're saying this is the first thing out of the chute. You mentioned some stuff with economic revitalization. Talk to us about what's next. After housing comes out, what are we planning to do at this point? What other programs are going to be coming?
So, even the folks that might not qualify, right,
Mm-hmm.
and they might not get the direct benefit of this program, there are other ways they'll benefit. We're going to be able to move the needle with infrastructure. There's a lot of infrastructure projects that we've wanted to get done in Pasco County. I know about them from my work in public works.
Sure thing.
And we'll be able to achieve those now. We're going to funnel $10 million to public services. We'll be able to get public services on the ground to people that really need it, caseworkers, homeless issues. We can really, I think this is a great opportunity for us to really make some progress with eliminating and reducing homelessness. Tim, anything to add on that?
Yeah, it's getting money to the places we need it and to the people who need it most.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my last question was really, what do you see the impact of it? But I'm hearing you say it, right? We're talking about transformation when it comes to housing and redevelopment. We're talking about, some form of social services to help those in need, economic revitalization and helping our businesses, and then a lot of good solid infrastructure projects to make our community more resilient. I mean, I don't know. What else is there to add?
Well, there is something to add we haven't talked about yet, and it's new housing.
Perfect.
About $100 million we're budgeted for new housing, and that's new rental housing. We're going to try to find ways to make available housing ownership opportunities. That's a big part of this. We'll probably, with that amount of money, we're looking at well over 1,000 units of new construction, new housing.
New kind of housing stock on an affordable basis. Some of that would be, in terms of traditional affordable housing, but you're talking about even ownership opportunities.
Yep.
That's wonderful.
We're exploring ways. And, there's a lot of programs out there that support rental product, right? Those programs don't exist for home ownership. So we're trying to get real creative on how we can increase those numbers. Get more home ownership in our county. As everybody knows, it's the best way to build wealth through home equity, and we want, with this program, we can get that started for a lot of people.
Wow, certainly be a catalyst. Tim, anything to top this off with?
I think just safer homes, stronger neighborhoods, smarter infrastructure, a county that's better prepared for the next storm. That's, for me, what the better future promises, and I'm very excited to be part of it.
A fitting name, guys. Well, listen, Chuck, Tim, thanks for so much being here today. It was great having you both here on the program. And a special thanks to our media relations team who makes this effort possible. And thank you for joining us on this episode of Pasco Podcast. I'm Mike Carballa, and we'll see you next time.